Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode here on this channel, English Listening Tips. I'm your host, Emma. And today we're diving into something that many of you have been asking about: how to improve your English listening skills. You know the feeling, right? You've studied vocabulary, memorized grammar rules, and can even form decent sentences. But when a native speaker starts talking, it suddenly sounds like a completely different language. Don't worry, you're definitely not alone. When I was learning languages myself, listening comprehension was my biggest challenge too. In today's episode, I'm sharing my top 10 listening tips that actually work. Plus, we'll do some practical exercises together right here in the podcast. The best part? These methods are enjoyable and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Are you ready to unlock your English ears? Let's get started. Tip 1. Set realistic expectations. Before we jump into practical strategies, I want to give you an important reminder. Be patient with yourself. Listening skills don't develop overnight. Your brain needs time to adjust to new sound patterns. Think about how long babies listen before speaking their first words. They absorb language for months before producing any. Of course, as adults, we learn faster, but the principle remains the same. Give your brain time to recognize and process sound patterns without getting frustrated. Practice exercise. Right now, I want you to close your eyes, unless you're driving, and just listen to my voice for 30 seconds. Notice the rhythm, intonation, and how I connect words. Don't try to understand everything, just listen to the music of English. Speak for 30 seconds with varied intonation using connected speech. How did that feel? Sometimes just listening without pressure helps train your ear. Tip 2. Daily immersion with level-appropriate content. My second tip is crucial. Surround yourself with English sounds every day. But, and this is important, choose material that's only slightly above your current level. If you're a beginner, watching complex TV shows will overwhelm you. If you're advanced, children's content might not challenge you enough. Find your sweet spot. Material where you understand about 70 to 80% without subtitles. Practical suggestion. Try the 20-minute rule. Every day, listen to 20 minutes of English content. It could be this podcast, YouTube videos, songs, or audiobooks. Consistency matters more than duration. Practice exercise. Let's do a quick listening exercise together. I'll tell you a short story, and you'll need to identify 3 key details. Ready? Last weekend, Sarah visited her grandmother who lives in a small cottage near the beach. They baked chocolate chip cookies together and then went for a long walk along the shore. Sarah collected 7 seashells and saw a dolphin jumping in the distance. The 3 details were where grandmother lives, a cottage near the beach, what they baked, chocolate chip cookies, and how many seashells Sarah collected, 7. How did you do? Tip 3. Active listening techniques. There's a big difference between hearing and actively listening. When you actively listen, you engage with the content rather than passively letting it play in the background. Practice exercise. Try this technique called shadow speaking. I'll say a phrase, then pause. During the pause, repeat exactly what I said, mimicking my pronunciation and intonation as closely as possible. The weather forecast predicts rain tomorrow. Pause. She's been working at that company for 5 years. Pause. I'd rather have coffee than tea in the morning. Pause. Shadowing helps your brain process speech patterns more efficiently and improves your pronunciation simultaneously. Tip 4. Focus on chunks, not individual words. Native speakers don't separate each word when they speak. They blend words together in chunks or thought groups. Learning to hear these chunks rather than trying to identify every single word will dramatically improve your comprehension. Practice exercise. Listen to these sentences and notice how I group words together. The man at the store was very helpful when I asked for directions. I don't think we should go out tonight because it might rain. She's been trying to learn French for almost 2 years. Now you try chunking this sentence. The restaurant on the corner serves amazing Italian food that I absolutely love. Tip 5. Train your ear for different accents. English is spoken with countless accents worldwide. Exposing yourself to various accents builds flexibility in your listening skills. Practice demonstration. Listen to how these simple phrases sound in different accents. American accent. How are you doing today? British accent. How are you doing today? Australian accent. How are you doing today? Indian accent. How are you doing today? Practical suggestion. Watch YouTube videos featuring different English accents or try accent tag challenges. Start with more familiar accents before moving to more challenging ones. Tip 6. Targeted listening for specific features. Sometimes focusing on one specific aspect of spoken English helps more than trying to understand everything at once. Practice exercise. In this next sample, only focus on identifying the past tense verbs. Yesterday, I walked to the store and purchased some groceries. When I returned home, I realized I'd forgotten my wallet there. I called the store immediately and spoke to the manager, who confirmed they had found it. I felt so relieved when I heard the news. The past tense verbs were walked, purchased, returned, realized, had forgotten, called, spoke, had found, felt, heard. How many did you catch? Tip 7. Use technology to your advantage. Today's language learners have amazing tools that weren't available years ago. Practical suggestions. Use apps like Lyrics Training to connect what you hear with written words. Try podcasts with transcripts, like this one. Transcripts available on my website. Watch videos with dual subtitles, English and your native language. Use speech-to-text features to check your understanding. Tip 8. Develop predictive listening skills. Native listeners constantly predict what might come next in a conversation based on context. This predictive ability helps fill in gaps when you miss words. Practice exercise. I'll start sentences, and before I finish them, try to predict what might come next. Before going to bed, I always brush my... The weather today is unusually... She couldn't attend the meeting because she was... How close were your predictions? The more you practice this, the better you'll get at using context clues. Tip 9. Embrace connected speech. One reason. English sounds so fast as connected speech, when words blend together through linking, reduction, and assimilation. Practice exercise. Listen to how these phrases sound in normal connected speech. Want to becomes wanna, going to becomes gonna, did you becomes didja, I have to becomes I hafta. Practice saying these yourself. Recognizing these patterns will dramatically improve your comprehension of natural speech. Tip 10. Make it meaningful and personal. The best listening practice connects to your interests and goals. If you love cooking, watch English cooking shows. If you're a sports fan, listen to game commentary. If you need English for business, focus on business podcasts. Practical suggestion: create a personalized listening plan based on your interests. Spend 10 minutes now thinking about English content that would genuinely interest you and commit to exploring it this week. Conclusion. Remember, improving your listening skills takes time and consistent practice. What matters most is regular exposure and active engagement with English. Don't get discouraged by setbacks. They're a normal part of the learning process. As your homework for this week, I challenge you to listen to English for at least 20 minutes daily. Try the shadowing technique with 5 sentences every day. Explore one new accent you're not familiar with. In our next episode, we'll build on these listening skills and talk about how to use them in real conversations. If you have questions or want to share your progress, feel free to ask me in the comments. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, your English journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Be kind to yourself, stay consistent, and your listening skills will improve. This is Emma signing off. Until next time, happy listening.